President Obama announces a plan that could lead to offshore drilling up and down the East Coast. The oil industry and environmentalists react to the president's announcement. We talk to Environment America and API. And Cape Wind shows some optimism about a coming decision and buys turbines for a proposed offshore wind farm.
From the Energy News Center in Washington, D.C., this is the Energy Report with Susan McGinnis.
Good afternoon, I'm Susan McGinnis. Thanks for joining us for the Energy Report. Today, the Obama administration unveiled a major expansion of existing offshore oil and natural gas exploration. 2 years ago, President Bush lifted the OCS drilling moratorium. Well, now President Obama is putting a comprehensive offshore plan into place. Here's a look at the areas today's announcement will open to energy production. From Delaware south through about half of Florida's east coast, also part of Florida's west coast, but only outside a 125-mile buffer zone, and only if a current moratorium there is lifted. Plus, the north slope of Alaska. The area is not included in the plan. The Atlantic coast from New Jersey north, the entire Pacific coast, and then Bristol Bay on the southwest coast of Alaska. The president made it clear this was a difficult decision for his administration.
Now, this is not a decision that I've made lightly. It's one that Ken and I, as well as Carol Browner, my energy advisor, and others in my administration looked at closely for more than a year. But the bottom line is this: given our energy needs, in order to sustain economic growth and produce jobs and keep our businesses competitive, we are going to need to harness traditional sources of fuel even as we ramp up production of new sources of renewable homegrown energy.
As for the next step, the Department of the Interior says there won't be any extensive lease sales before 2012, but Interior will offer offshore tracks sooner than that in parts of Alaska and also 50 miles off the coast of Virginia. Well, reaction to the president's announcement has been strong and fast from both sides of this debate. Environmental groups are worried that more offshore production will mean a greater potential for oil spills and environmental degradation, but industry advocates say new technology substantially lowers the risk of serious accidents.
We hear all those arguments about new technology, and then back in August of 2009 there was a major spill from an offshore drilling rig off the coast of Australia that spilled millions of gallons, I believe, at last count. And this obviously is going to have devastating impacts that will harm wildlife and ecosystems in the area for a long, long time.
When you look at the drilling phase, you have blowout preventers. Not only one, you have a stack of them, so that when there's pressure buildup, they shut. Oil cannot come out, any kind of fluids can't come out. And then during the production phase, you have subsurface safety valves. And then you have folks out there, the crews, they have to be certified in well control, and then the government has the regulations.
And Tyler Suiters will have a full report on this week's edition of Clean Skies Sunday. You can watch that at 9 a.m. Eastern on Sunday on ABC here in the Washington area, or anytime after that at cleanskies.com. Cape Wind is taking a proactive move, entering a deal with Siemens to buy 130 turbines for what only might be the first U.S. offshore wind farm. Siemens will supply 3.6 megawatt turbines for the farm off the coast of Massachusetts. It says it will open a U.S. offshore wind office in Boston as well. But construction is not a sure thing. Cape Wind still awaiting a final decision from the Interior Secretary, due out by the end of April. Ford and Microsoft have come together to help folks manage their energy use. The two companies announced today at the New York Auto Show that they are developing a smart system to link homes, electric vehicles, and utility companies. The system would let utilities vary electric rates based on time of day, and a computer determines the best time to recharge the cars at the lowest cost. The system would start with the all-electric Ford Focus that's going on sale in late 2011. Well, as a result of Clean Air Act settlements, two shell companies will install pollution reduction equipment. Shell Chemical and Shell Chemical Yabucoa will also pay a combined $3.3 million civil penalty to the U.S., as well as to Alabama and Louisiana, and about $200,000 toward environmental education and emergency operations. The settlements will reduce emissions of SOx and NOx and other harmful pollutants by more than 1,450 tons a year. These are the 25th and 26th in a series of global multi-issue, multi-facility settlements being pursued by EPA under its National Petroleum Refinery Initiative. Let's take a look at some goings-on around the Beltway tomorrow. At 8:30 in the morning, Arizona State University and the New America Foundation have a panel on energy independence. That's happening at the National Press Club. Clean Skies News will be there. That is the Energy Report. We'll see you tomorrow with your latest energy news. For any suggestions or comments about our programming on Clean Skies News, you can email us at contact@cleanskies.com. We're also on Twitter and Facebook. From all of us here in the Energy News Center, good night.